Hello and welcome to How to Play Domino Cribbage, a game for 2 players. This game was voted as Game of the Month for March with all 12 voters. So congratulations to Domino Cribbage. And as we see, he's having an excellent time in there, so I'll leave him alone. This game comes to us from Paget.com. It is one of the many interesting games that is on that website and one that I wanted to cover, so I put it as a candidate for Game of the Month. In the opinion of John Paget, this is an inferior game to this card game Cribbage. That's not to say it's not a good game. It actually is a different game than standard Cribbage. So your equipment needed will be a set of double 6 dominoes and a way to keep score. This could be either paper, but just get yourself a cribbage board. Now to set up and play, you're going to do these same actions each time. You're going to shuffle the dominoes, deal 6 dominoes to each player. Each player then discards 2 of their crib after careful consideration. And then the non-dealer is going to play the first domino and announce the pip value. So you play a 1-2, that's a combination of 3 pips on the domino. So he's going to say 3 out loud. The opponent's then going to play a domino and then announce the new total by adding their pip value to their domino to the previous one. So let's say we play a 4-3, so we have a total of 7 plus the previous 3. So now we'd announce that we have a total of 10. Then the play is going to go back to the non-dealer, who's going to continue until either the total reaches 31 or a player cannot keep playing dominoes without exceeding a total of 31. So we're going to cover this with the video. We're going to show a guide. Now there's 2 ways to score. You can score during play, which is called pegging scores. And that's basically as you're playing dominoes. If you get a grand total of 15 or 31, you'll score 2 points. You'll score 2 points for a pair of dominoes that have the same pip values. 6 points if you have 3 of a kind. 12 points for a 4 of a kind. These all have to be dominoes of the same total next to each other. It could be your dominoes or your opponent's. One of you will score 1. So in order to score a 3 of a kind, your opponent would have to have scored a pair. And to score a 4 of a kind, your opponent would have had to first score a triplet. And you would, of course, had to first score a pair. So then you're also going to get 1 point per tile in a run. The run has to be 3 or more dominoes. 1 point if your opponent cannot play a domino without exceeding the value of 31. And you must always make that play if you're able to. And 1 point for the last domino played. So whoever plays the last domino gets an automatic point, even if there's no other points scored with that play. Now the post-play scores are when after the play is done. You're going to gather your dominoes back up, and you're going to have 2 points for a 15, any 15 that you can make with any total number of dominoes, 2 points for a pair, 6 points for a triplet, so that's basically 3 of a kind, and 12 points for 4 of a kind, 4 dominoes of the same pip value. And then, of course, 1 point per tile in a run, so if you have a run of 3 dominoes, you'll score 3 points, a run of 4, you'll score 4, including the starter domino that's flipped up at the beginning of play. You also could possibly score a run of 5. Or you could score 2 runs of 3 and maybe 2 runs of 4. But you will not be able to score 2 runs of 3 and a run of 4. That is not allowed by the rules, so just be aware of that. Now we'll go over that while we play this game and show you a good demonstration. So we got our double 6 set of dominoes. We're going to shuffle real quick. We use this coin. I use the coin to pretty much help me as a guide of remembering who the dealer and non-dealer was. So we're just going to have 6 dominoes to each player. The rest are going to go into a boneyard. And then we're going to pick one at random to be our starter. First thing we'll do is we'll look at our dominoes. Now in a normal game of dominoes, you wouldn't have your dominoes face up to where your opponent can see them. But for the sake of demonstration, we're showing them face up so you can follow along. So each player is going to take 2 dominoes out of their hand and add it to a crib. The crib in this case will belong to North, since North was the dealer. The non-dealer will then play the first domino, announce a 6. Then the opponent will then play another 6. They'll announce 12 as the total. Now, my brain got crosswired here. I should have did that as green. I played red as South and North as green, but that would have been North's 2 points to score, so just ignore that error there. Then we'll see an 8 played and then a 10 played. And there would be a total of 30 played at that point. And South was able to play the double blank, which is a special case in this game because I feel the double blank will allow you to play a domino without necessarily exceeding 30 points. So since he earned a go there, he scored 1 point. Now that play is over and the last domino played earned a point for North. South is going to score their dominoes and add their total pip value. And then once that is all done, North is going to then score. We got a 15 for 2, another 15 for 2. And we're looking at what other possible things we have. We have a pair of 5s for 2. And then we go to the crib and we score the crib. We see what totals there are to score here. Here we see we have two 8s, so that will be a pair of 8s. We don't have any other totals that equal anything, so now the deal will go to South. South will jumble up and scramble up the dominoes, and each player will then, of course, take 6 dominoes in hand to form their hand. The rest of the dominoes go back into the boneyard, and we select one at random to be our starter domino. We turn all the dominoes face up for ourselves, for our own view. We don't do this in a real game. We just keep them to where only we can view them. We will pick 2 dominoes to put into the crib. Basically, we're trying to figure out what dominoes are best going to score us in the pegging round and which ones are going to score us favorably or score our opponent unfavorably in the crib. Now we reveal our starter domino. It is a 5, so that might benefit one opponent versus the other. The non-dealer, of course, starts the play with a 6. That's followed by an 8, so a new total of 14 is now. It's followed by a 10, that's going to be 24. Followed by a 7, which will equal 31. South will get 2 points for that. Then South will get the 1 point for the last domino. And any other possible pegging points scored. Since this game's going by so fast, I can't really keep up. You'll have to really read the rules of cribbage if you're not familiar with cribbage or if you've played it automated. This game will definitely be a challenge to administer. It's one of those tricky games where human error can really affect the score, so watch your opponent as they're scoring their hand and as they're scoring their crib. So now that we've assessed the dealer's hand, we're going to assess the dealer's crib. These scores will, of course, go to South since South was the dealer. It's his crib. We're going to get a score for a 15 there since we had a 9, 1, and a 5. That'd be 15. So we're going to advance later in the game. This is the last hand. Each player's taking their 2 dominoes out of their crib, and they're discarding them to the crib. And this will be North's crib this time, so we'll have to keep mind of it because the non-dealer always scores their hand first at the end of play. So now North is looking at what he has as options and deciding which dominoes he wants to keep and which ones he wants to discard. We have discarded our dominoes. We reveal a starter domino of 4. South plays a 12. That's followed up by a 9, so that's equal to 21 points. South adds a 3 to make it 24. There's a 6 that adds 30. North is given a go, and we reset. So North plays. He's got an 8, followed by a 5, followed by a 7, followed by another 5. We get 1 point for the last domino. Now, the non-dealer is going to score their hand. They score 15 for 2. We have a pair of 5s for 2. And we're looking to see if we have anything else. We have a 3, 4, 5 and a 3, 4, 5 twice. That scored 6 points. And we exceeded 121 points. We have won the game. So like always, if you know anybody that actually wants to play dominoes out in public, come to our subreddit Card Game Meetup. Post what games you know, what games you want to play, what public place. If you want to meet people up to play some dominoes or cards or dice games, go ahead and do that. Do check out in the description for not only other video channels I enjoy, but a link to a Discord channel where we talk about card games all day, every day. It's a very fun place. You should be there if you're not there already. Do call up your friends and let them know that you want to play some dominoes. They might say yes, they might say no, but either way, sometimes you have to be the person to make that call because sometimes life is just not going to come to you on your doorstep and knock on the door. So do like, subscribe, and share these videos with people you want to play card games with. Do check out the poll for April's Game of the Month, and I want to thank today's musicians, and I will see you next video.